Every year, these Commander products come out, and it always becomes a very uncomfortable situation, as with most product releases. Store owners, distributors, evil people like me, everybody is judged very quickly based on the success or failure of the product. And stores are either called, the LGSs around the country, either scumbags and ripoffs for charging too much because the product's good, or they leave the price low, and after release, the price drops, and the store is also called a scumbag for overcharging on a bad product. And then, of course, we hit the time like we are now. So here we are, Commander 2019. Haven't made any videos about it. Been kind of watching this kind of shenanigans unfold, and this is kind of what I see happening right now. So a combination of new patrons have signed up. I've noticed an uptick. Shameless Rudy plug. Because some of these people have been buying the Commander 2019 on eBay and TCG Player, and store owners are now canceling their order because now we're experiencing the uptick post-spoiler season before official release date. This happens, I would say this probably happens about once a year with some random product. Usually not standard sets. This usually either happens with Commander products or a specialty Masters pseudo-style reprint set, or a summer set, or a specialty holiday set like an Ultimate Masters or an Unstable or something weird where we have an uptick. And this is probably the most dramatic one I've seen probably all year in 2019. I did not expect it to go this way. Now for those of you who've been watching a while, everyone's fully aware in the last 6 months in a row, Rudy's been hyping Commander 2019, evil, whatever. And because I was discussing with everybody, the word on the street, because again, I make everything up, was that the Commander 2019 product was going to be overly leveraged in the value category with additional reprints, and they weren't going to screw it up, as 2018 was considered the screw-up Commander year. So, based on that information the last 6 months, a lot of people were already aware this was going to be kind of the direction of things. But even I have been extraordinarily surprised based on what has actually unfolded in the last 30 days. A lot of patrons have been asking me, Rudy, when are you going to sell your batch? You haven't done anything. You haven't said anything. Because normally, I like to take the market price on something unique like this. Whatever the market's selling for, we take off 10%, $20. We undercut it and we just do our initial release. It'll sell out and that's it. We sit back and watch. This is what happened last year with 2018. And then, of course, everybody complained 2018 was garbage. And, of course, I made all my videos in the last 12 months talking about I'm investing in 2018 Commander, sitting on 500 to 1,000 units and all of these displays and fun stuff. So here we are. We have the opposite situation of 2018. Kind of predicted. I did not think it was going to be this extreme. When I'm seeing these deck lists, some of the reprints, I'm like, really? Why? Why didn't you reprint some of these other Commander staples that people have been asking for? Like, why do we avoid that? But pick the weirdest things to reprint that were like in a set from a year ago or 2 years ago, and cards from new. Just really strange choice. I will never fully understand how or why Wizards chooses the cards for reprint equity, and I will never fully understand it. And I don't think anybody fully does. And honestly, I feel like the people who are involved internally, I feel like they may not fully understand. Like, you have a bunch of different parties pulling back and forth. I don't know. So here we are. And pretty much you're going to continue to see a lot more stuff hit the internet, the interwebs, the intranet. What is internet? We're going to see a lot more of this stuff hitting the web here and social media, with stores going to be canceling orders and relisting the product. I think this is probably going to get a little bit worse before it gets better. My rationale is, look, let me tell you guys the facts. Number one, almost every distributor has told me pre-orders for Commander 2019, which were done 30 to 60 days ago before spoiler season started, were all less than 2018 because stores said 2018 sucked and they couldn't make money on it. So that's the first fact. Number two, the price increases of everything continues to go up year over year. Wizards is continuing to push up the MSRP, which doesn't exist. We can't talk about MSRP, but they're raising the prices. For legal reasons, they have no MSRP, so that they can shift liability and point to evil people like me and all the store owners around the country and just say we're all bad people. So that's the next thing. The cost basis for even someone like me at a higher volume, you have some distributors are actually pushing the price of some of these Commander products up and up. Some are almost $100 wholesale for, compared to what they were 2017, 2018, 2016. Every year, the Commander product has been pushing higher and higher. And I'll be honest, years ago, I remember like 2013 Commander. Was it 2013? when they did the alternate reprint with the double Mind Seas, and then 2014, these were 5-deck Commander sets. And even then, I remember the 5-deck sets being like $70 or something wholesale. Because I remember selling them for like $99 like years ago. And now I'm like, some of the distributors are charging more than that. And it's insane to see how the price inflation of these Magic products continue to uptick. And they've been testing with Modern Horizons, Ultimate Masters, these Commander products. And the crappy part of the reality is when I tell you guys this, they're going to keep raising it because all of us are going to keep buying it. I'm not going to not buy at a higher price. I'm not going to supply, all my customer base. Everyone's going to continue to pay the price at the higher level. We all complain about it. I think it sucks. I don't make any more or less money. There's no change. We just move. When this water level goes up, all the ships adjust with it. So it's not like any particular pirate ship is making more money. It's just that the whole tide level has been moved, and it sucks. It is what it is. So what I see continuing to happen here, everybody, I want to really just be laid out there, give you the uncomfortable reality. I see a lot more orders being canceled. Some people have already contacted me, sent me screenshots, all this crap. We're not going to throw stores or companies, and I'm not going to bash people and have everyone attack a certain store and call them. We're not doing that. The point is, a lot of people pre-ordered at let's say 120s, okay? And then Commander 2019 went to 130s, then 140s. I wake up today, Commander 2019 is averaging 150 to 170. Are you serious? I have never, in the 3 years I've been on YouTube, and I've been buying Commander at release now for 6 years in a row, I have never seen a Commander product come out of the gate this extraordinarily high. This is incredible. I guess if there was MSRP, it'd be full MSRP, I guess. I don't know. But it's incredible. And this is a combination of just lower pre-orders, higher price points, good card, or not, strained, I guess good. Just a lot of expected value at this point in time. I don't think a lot of that's going to hold, because some of these prices look ridiculous, but the single card prices are extraordinarily high. I have a very tough time believing half these numbers are going to stick. But even if you cut everything down by 50%, the deck prices of all 4 decks combined, even if you cut everything in half, don't take each deck's worth $200 and $150 now. So all 4 decks, Rudy, all 4 Commander decks are already worth $600. All right, look, even if you cut everything in half and say every card's worth 50 cents on the dollar right now, you're still looking at over $200 in expected value worth of cards, even with a 50-60% decline in market price. The numbers are extraordinarily high. I mean, if I didn't have a Patreon account, I wasn't on YouTube, I wasn't talking to everybody right now, I'll be honest with you. I would order hundreds of these things, I would break them all down, and I would be selling singles online right now. I'd be on eBay, I'd have 600 new listings for every single card, and I'd put a quantity of 10 of everything, and then every day when the 10 sell, I'd audit the price as a circuit breaker, and I'd relist, and I would just pump out Commander single cards. Because if I can net over $200 per Commander set doing singles, you can make a fortune. And this is another reason I believe you're seeing the prices go up, because there's a lot of stores out there. I talked to a couple stores, specifically, one of them said, we're not selling any sealed Commander product. We're cracking all 200 units we're getting, and we're only selling singles because we can make the most profit. And I said, okay, well, that makes sense. Another store said, we're only selling half our sealed boxes, and we're going to do the other half in singles because the expected value is so high. We can net the highest return, and we're going to sell a lot of the singles in the local store and on TCG Player eBay. So put it all together, we're setting up for a very uncomfortable, difficult situation. I think things are going to get pretty messy here as we approach release, because of the fact that a lot more orders are going to get canceled, and you're going to see a lot of things where, sorry, I didn't have enough on eBay. They'll email you and say, hey, sorry, we ran out, or we don't have enough, our distributor cut our order. You're going to see a lot of those type of messages, which of course that does happen sometimes. I mean, I've had to cut orders when I get a pallet that damaged and knocks over. I've showed you guys pictures of that years ago. I mean, it happens. But the realities of all this is what happens when the product's really good and the market is really underprepared. So, is my camera still going? Are we still talking? Yeah, we. So, oh, cool. So, anyways, as far as what I see happening here is, just remember, everybody, we set up for this really weird time. And, when I've been the last 6 months, I was ridiculed quite a bit for talking about the Commander 2018, which is appreciated in price already, and the Commander 2019, the overcompensation for this type of product because of, they don't want a repeat of last year. So, it's funny. So I'm going to wrap this video up real quick, but I want to give a couple last final thoughts today, everyone. Yes, the pre-orders for patrons, everything's going to go on sale in the next couple days. Yes, it's going to be below market price. No, I'm not going to just sell it at a massive loss and just lose thousands. I'm not going to do that because it's just not needed. But yeah, I'll make sure we're at least $20 a unit under market. But I mean, maybe more if this price. This is ridiculous. 160s is 70s is insane. That's way too high. But look, I know everyone. Whenever these things happen, everybody goes on this like crusade of negativity, and it becomes the new flare-up of bashing store owners around the country. And I see this every time. And there's something that, I think it's very important for the public to fully understand that, the public judges store owners around the country based on how the product succeeds or fails. When the reality is someone like me or any of the thousands of store owners around the country have no control on how the market is going to accept or reject a new Magic product. So in times like this, as long as when customers pay you the money, you deliver the product, that's the only part that I have a problem with. If you actually do cancel 500 orders just to relist for $170 a unit, then that's really, now you're getting to kind of a crappy thing to do, because these are people who thought they had it, they paid you, you accepted the order. That's a different conversation. But I'm focusing specifically on people who get upset because there's stores around the country now. And if they're selling for $160, $170 on eBay, I can promise everybody, local stores around the country are probably going to sell for $180 to $200. In other words, $50 per deck. And do I think that's ridiculous? I kind of do, but I kind of don't. Because at this point in time, you have to look at both parties and what each party wants. And you have to be very careful to just say, yeah, my LGS is evil, Rudy. I'm down here and I'm in Texas, and my two LGSs, they're selling Commander 2019 for $199, a ripoff. Okay? So let me ask you a question. Let's say you buy it for $199. And let's say in 3 months from now, the reprint's next to nothing. It goes out of print like Commander 2018 did. And it goes to $300-$400 for the set. And you paid $200. Similar to Commander 2017, 2016. Are you still going to feel really angry at that store owner in Texas? Well, I guess not. But I still feel like they ripped me off. Okay. Scenario number 2. Let's say you go to that local store. You pay the $200. I know, which is still very high. For Commander 2019. 6 months from now, Wizards goes, whoa, this was such a good product, we're massively reprinting it. Commander 2019 drops from $200 for the set all the way down back to $140, $150. Now all of a sudden, you are angry and you never want to go back to that local card store in Texas, which is Timmy's Emporium, the parent company, because that store ripped you off. Now, when you step back, the store owner in Texas didn't really do anything. All that happened was the market accepts or rejects and moves the price of the product, and your opinion of that store in Texas is pretty much completely dictated based on the movement of a product that that particular store can't control. So you have to be very careful pointing blame at store owners around the country, because it's very difficult to predict this stuff. Now, in times where all the products come out and they drop, Iconic Masters, Masters 25, I remember that era. And I remember Commander 2018. I remember all this stuff a year ago. And let me tell everybody something. I lost tons of patrons, tons of negativity, terrible mean messages toward me, because I sold Masters 25, and I think originally for, I don't know what I sold it for, $179. I sold Iconic Masters originally, was at like $199, then it tanked, and then I sold it for $150, then I think it was like $140 or something, and the bottom was $120 for $119.99, I think, was the lowest I sold Iconic Masters for. And everybody was just so upset because they bought from me at, $150 or $180 or $190, and it kept dropping, and I lost a lot of people. They sent me nasty grams. They were mean about it. So what happens was they all felt that I ripped them off on that particular scenario. Same thing with Commander 2018. But now we're in a scenario when the product doesn't go that direction. Suddenly, your local game store or Evil Rudy or whoever it is, you have a different opinion. You feel like that individual is a hero because you got from them at a lower price and the market inflated the value further and it continued to appreciate upwards versus downwards in deflation. So everybody needs to understand, when you go to your local game stores around the country in the next 30 days with these Commander products, these local game stores are just trying to make a living. These are regular people, and everybody says they love the LGS and they want it to be around. But the death of LGS is there. We all know what's really happening with Amazon. I mean, hell, Wizards is selling direct to Amazon for tons of product. Come on, if that doesn't speak loud enough, nothing does. But you have to remember, these local card store owners around the country are trying to provide a place to play and sell Magic product. They're trying to make a living and pay their overhead and people. And to be angry or happy with these people trying to guess the future value of a product is a losing game for everybody. And nobody wins in those scenarios. So I hope you guys learned something. I'm done rambling and preaching about it. But I wanted to at least explain to everybody what's going on with these prices. Expect a lot of some volatility as we approach release here. Expect canceled orders in Commander 2019. And I know it's goofy, but it looks like Commander 2019 is pushing right to $200. I mean, I can't believe it went from 130, 140, 150, 160. Now we're at 160s, 170s. I mean, it is what it is, everybody. So I hope you guys learned something today. As always, please try to use logic and be respectful to everybody out there, all the stores around the country. And again, remember, if we all like Magic, we should all be friends, right? Do we still live in that world? We don't live in that world. Get off the camera. I'm a bad person. Leave. Okay. All right.